You're watching the 2024 SCAC Baseball Media Days. Today, we're taking a look at the University of Dallas baseball program. The Crusaders will once again be led as they head into the season under the guidance of head coach Erik Grafton, along with the leadership from junior Adrian Montenegro. And Coach Adrian, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Russell. Excited to be here. Glad to be doing these again, and thank you for having us.
Coach, we'll get started with you heading into your sixth season now as the manager there of the UD baseball program. I'm interested, what you've learned over the course of these first 5 seasons. Been obviously some interesting hurdles getting things started, but now really starting to find your stride. This program coming off the most wins since your first year back in 2019. What are you excited about coming into the new year? What makes this preseason time so special?
Well, first thing is we play in what we believe is one of the best conferences in the entire country. And, we know that it's a challenge year in and year out with the teams that we face. So it's something that, we look forward to every year because, for us, we understand that if we're able to compete in our own conference, then we can believe we can compete with really anybody across the country, as evidenced by the champions that have come out of this conference and their success in the postseason. So, I mean, I was familiar coming into the conference with several of the programs and the teams and knew the expectations. It's certainly a challenge, but it's a challenge that we look forward to and kind of motivates us and drives us with what we do on a day-to-day basis.
Adrian, for you coming into this your junior season, first year as an upperclassman, I'm intrigued as to maybe how you see your role change a little bit. Those first couple of years just coming in and trying to establish yourself, and now really understanding what Coach Grafton expects day in and day out. How excited are you to be back for another year with the group? What's the vibe like? Like I mentioned, most wins certainly in your career there, so excitement has to be high. Just your thoughts coming into your junior year.
No, yeah, I'm happy to be back. Good vibes. Get a lot of good guys, a lot of guys who actually want to work this year, a lot of guys who really hit the off season really hard. And just being an upperclassman, actually being able to lead and be an example for some of the younger guys, trying to set that in early for them.
Coach, not only did this group have the success last year in terms of stacking the win totals, but you look at the experience you have, and you return so much of it from the success that you had last year. I look at this lineup. I think 6 of your 8 guys that hit 20 or more hits on the year return, and it was a young group, a lot of freshmen and sophomores within that group of talent. What do you expect to see from this lineup, kind of taking that next step after gaining experience, and just your thoughts on kind of the approach you like to have your guys at the plate when they step up into the box?
Yeah, for sure. So we do have a really good mix. Like, we do have youth on our team, but a lot of that youth has been thrown into the fires and played a lot of innings and a lot of games over the past couple of years too. So I do think experience is invaluable. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know, and you get better at this game by playing this game. And the competition we talked about earlier as well, certainly makes our guys better, more prepared, and know what to expect going into the year and how you have to train to be successful with that. So it is exciting from that standpoint. A lot of credit goes to our former recruiting coordinator, Coach Nate Ramsey, for recruiting and helping build this roster. And then just credit to the guys as well too, and the leadership that we've had on the team to be able to kind of rally these guys together, understand the expectations, set some standards, and really work hard towards accomplishing those as well too. On the offensive side of the ball, we are going to have a ton of returners and guys who have gotten a lot of experience and at bats over the years, but we've got a lot of new guys and new faces. And quite honestly, there's still a ton of competition within our own lineup and our own roster. So I wouldn't be surprised to see, a variety of different lineups early in the year, kind of as you're trying to figure out where those puzzle pieces are and how guys are going to adapt and perform in different situations as well too. So for us, we're excited about that. I mean, I believe competition makes you better. And I think that we're going to have a lot of guys that we can go to in different situations that we can trust to get the job done. And offensively for us, we want to have versatility. We want to be able to score in a variety of ways. It's nice when the hits and runs are coming, but we face a lot of really good pitchers in this league as well too. And sometimes you got to find other ways to scratch and claw and fight for a run across the board. And you may have to win a high scoring game sometimes, and sometimes you may have to win a pitching duel. So we just want to have some versatility and variety in our skill set and be able to kind of find ways to cross home plate in multiple ways.
Adrian, coming into your junior season, coach talks about that experience. You're coming off a career year last year, just in terms of numbers, really across the board: appearances, games started, innings pitched, strikeouts, ERA, WHIP, all things career highs and career best for you. How does that experience help build your confidence coming into your junior year? And what are some things that you've worked on over the course of the offseason, having learned from that experience coming into this year, that gives you, even more confidence heading into the season?
Oh yeah, we faced really good lineups in our conference. So the biggest thing for me is actually develop a really good third pitch, my changeup. That allowed me to stay in the games longer, force more outs, force more weak contact. Just give my team a chance to keep staying in games. So that was the biggest upgrade I had over the offseason.
Coach, similar to the lineup, when we're looking at this pitching staff, and obviously the guy next to you is going to be a huge part as it unfolds throughout the course of the season, but a lot of experience returning in that staff. 5 of your top 6 arms in terms of innings pitched come back, no different really from that lineup. A lot of freshmen, sophomores getting some big innings for your group last year. How do you see this pitching staff starting to come together, starting to take shape, and how will that experience, hopefully help bolster this group heading into this year?
Yeah, I think the pitching staff has done a tremendous job. They're experienced and they've been motivated. We've had good leadership there on that side. And I think the biggest thing that experience has taught us is, we have to throw quality pitches, but we also have to get people out in the strike zone and to see the development of just, the physical part of it with the stuff and the velocities and the bodies and being able to handle more workload. But also, being able to command those a little bit better as well too, and be able to attack and get ahead so we can stay efficient, with our pitch counts and stay on schedule throughout the game as well. But it is a lot of excitement, but, similar to the offensive side of the ball too, there's going to be a lot of familiar faces that have thrown a lot for us. But, we've got a lot of new guys and even some returners that maybe didn't pitch as much last year that have really stepped up, and like we're going to have to use everybody. Getting through 3 9-inning games against good lineups, like everybody's going to have to be able to contribute and pitch well and compete for us as well. And I feel confident in the direction that the pitching staff is going with that, and I'm excited to kind of see that unfold as we go throughout the year.
Adrian, coming off a season that you had a year ago and all the momentum that was gained due to the hard work and the effort that you and your teammates put in, as you sort of talk about some of the goals and the expectations here coming into 2024, what have some of those conversations looked like with you and some of the other leaders on this team, and what's going to be key in order for this group to try and accomplish those heading into the season?
So yeah, a lot of the guys are motivated for how things ended up last year. It carried into the fall, carried into now. A lot of the guys still talk about it. It's good. The biggest change we have to do is a lot of day in, day out, locking in for every single game. It's a long season, it's a grind, and as long as the season keeps going, that's when it's easy to start falling off. But the biggest thing is locking in for the whole ride. So we're really trying to get that spot into the tournament this year. A lot of guys talk about it. It's been talked about since my freshman year, and we feel really confident about it.
And finally, Coach, wrapping things up with you, when you talk about success with your group, what do those conversations look like? What is that message? Obviously, it can be measured in so many different ways and quantified in different shapes and forms. But, when you try to talk about success within your program, what does that message look like? And ultimately, what will 2024 be successful if what plays out for you?
Absolutely. So, you're 100% correct. There's a lot of different ways to measure that. For us, success is about our habits and how we go about our day-to-day business. A lot of success can be result oriented, but you get those results as, how you go about your day-to-day business. So for us, we want to get really good with our habits and good with our day-to-day and kind of stay in the moment and be able to give our best effort to be the best that we can in the moment. We understand that although it may be difficult at times, but the more we can do that, the more the results will take care of themselves, and kind of regardless of how those end results turn out, we can still be at peace that we gave our best to be successful.
Yep.
On the other hand, we are competitive, and we're playing this game because we do want to win and we do want to play it well. For us, for us to compete for a championship, we have to make a postseason. And that means we have to beat other teams that have made postseasons for a very long time. So for us, the ultimate goal is we do want to compete for those championships. Baseball is very important to us and how we perform and play that. And we have high standards and we do want to be successful. So for us, we understand that although that's a goal, it's going to happen by putting in the work on a day-to-day basis with that. But that is very much a goal, and we talk about it here all the time, is giving ourselves a chance to compete for that by getting into the postseason.
University of Dallas head baseball coach Erik Grafton, along with junior leader Adrian Montenegro. The Crusaders will open up the 2024 campaign, and they take on Sul Ross State on February 10th. Coach Adrian, thanks so much for joining us today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thank you, Russell.